Right side throw, touchdown! Kansas City!
The Chiefs win the Super Bowl! Back-to-back dynasty.
The Chiefs are Super Bowl champs.
I blacked out when I caught the ball, though.
Yeah, just know that the Kansas City Chiefs are never underdogs. Just know that.
How about that D, baby?
Chiefs Kingdom! Y'all hear this?
How about those Chiefs?
You gotta fight for your right!
The Chiefs were underdogs against the Bills. They beat them in Buffalo. They were underdogs against the Ravens. They beat them in Baltimore. They were underdogs against the 49ers. And guess what? They beat them in Vegas. In fact, none of these teams could do anything to stop the inevitable. The Chiefs not only won back-to-back Super Bowls, but they stamped the word dynasty onto the organization, a term that will forever be etched into the history books without a shadow of a doubt. So let's get into this game recap and key takeaways from this glorious W. But first, how about those? All right, the Chiefs won the toss and deferred, opting to have the Chiefs defense get the first go. And honestly, the 49ers were moving on the opening drive. CMC was unsurprisingly pretty involved early. That is until Mike Pennell and Leo Chanel forced a very rare McCaffrey fumble. The turnover was short-lived, though, because the Chiefs quickly went 3 and out as the Niners defense refused to budge. This resulted in the first of 5 punts on the night for KC. In fact, the 49ers also had to punt 5 times, with their first happening on the very next drive as multiple penalties created a deficit they couldn't overcome. Chase Young then proceeded to scorch Donovan Smith off the left side and sack Mahomes, with nothing working for KC's offense early on in this game. In fact, the first quarter ended with the Chiefs offense going like 7 plays for only 16 yards. Meanwhile, the 49ers started a drive that took them into the second quarter, going 10 plays this time thanks to an 18-yard catch on 3rd and 9 by former Chief Chris Conley, as well as a 19-yarder the very next play to McLeod. Thankfully, they were held to just a field goal after FAU tackled McCaffrey for a 4-yard loss, and Trent McDuffie's excellent pass breakup and coverage on Deebo Samuel. Kicker Jake Moody then nailed a Super Bowl record kick, a 55-yard field goal to bring the Niners up 3-0. KC then started heating up themselves after Rice helped convert a 3rd and 1, flipping it to Watson like a lunatic as he went to the ground. Mahomes then faked a handoff to Pacheco, rolled left, and threw a 52-yard bomb, I think it was, to McCole Hardman, thanks in part to Tashawn Gibson losing track of the football. This was an enormous play to bring KC within striking distance to, at the very least, tie the game. But Isaiah Pacheco got the ball popped out on the next play, resulting in a fumble recovered by the 49ers. And on the sideline after this fumble, Travis Kelce could be seen startling Coach Reed by getting in his face, bumping into him a bit, causing him to even stumble, and apparently telling him this.
I'm gonna keep it between us unless my mic'd up tells the world, but I was just telling him how much I love him.
Okay, seriously, he was most likely upset that he was taken off the field for that play and was letting Big Red know he wanted to stay in the game, even if it was a run, because Noah Gray was over there blocking where Travis could have been, and that's where the fumble happened. Many were shocked and appalled by this action from Kelce, but honestly, after years of seeing Travis Kelce interact with coaches in the heat of the moment and them interacting back, i.e. both of them yelling at times, whether it's EB, Andy, whoever, this is how it goes sometimes with him. Can anybody get away with this? Heck no, but Kelce is one of the few who has that type of relationship with Andy. Now, should he have done that? No. And that's why he, of course, went back to Andy very quickly after this happened and reportedly apologized. Andy seemed unfazed, though, joking afterwards that Kelce keeps him young, but that time he was definitely caught off balance by Kelce. Speaking of off balance, Nick Bolton got flagged for a horse collar tackle on Brock Purdy as he pulled him off balance after San Francisco's offense took the field, but it mattered not because the defense swallowed up CMC as well as Purdy to force another punt. Richie James then, I think, muffed that punt, but quickly regained control, averting disaster. Mahomes' intentional grounding then backed KC up, with Eric Armstead not allowing Mahomes to scramble away, thanks again to Bosa once again impacting the game, and Townsend had to boom yet another punt. This time, though, the 49ers would drive down the field, helped in part by a personal foul called on L'Jarius Sneed. So instead of a 3rd and 2, Sneed got flagged for 15 yards, moving the chains and putting the 49ers near the red zone, and a wild trick play ensued that involved Jawan Jennings catching a backwards pass left side, throwing it all the way across to the right, into the arms of an awaiting CMC, which was kind of like a screen pass, a very long delayed screen pass of sorts, and he ended up waltzing in untouched up the right sideline to put the Niners up 10-0. This was honestly a little embarrassing for Spags and company, in my opinion, to get bamboozled on a play like this, but hey, sometimes it happens, so tip of the cap to a great call there by the Niners. This left Mahomes and company with roughly 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, down by 10, and needing something to happen. Well, on 3rd and 9, Mahomes scrambled right to extend the play and threw across his body, connecting with Watson at the 39-yard line to move the chains. Rice then caught a quick slant on 3rd and 2, and another one right after to get KC up to the 14. Sadly, though, the Niners held strong and forced KC to settle for 3 points, making the score 3-10, Chiefs trailing by 7. This brought the game to halftime, where the Chiefs would be set to start with the ball. But before I get into the second half, in honor of the Chiefs being slept on all postseason long, if you're looking to upgrade your sleep quality in 2024 by upgrading your mattress to a new premium fiberglass-free mattress that's customized to the way you sleep and shipped right to your front door, then look no further than to today's sponsor, Bear Mattress. Not only are they the longest active partner of the channel, but they are currently running their President's Day sale. So head over to bearmattress.com/HBTC and use code HBTC to get a higher discount than what's being offered on site. We've been using their Elite Hybrid mattress for over a year now, and my wife and I love the sleep we've been getting so much that we got one for one of our daughters as well. This is the newest addition to the Bear family, the 8.5-inch Bear Cub mattress. It was super easy to unbox and unroll once it was shipped to our house, similar to the mattress me and my wife have been sleeping on for over a year, and with flexible payment plans as well as a 120-night sleep trial, the 3 months gives you more than enough time to make sure you'll love it. And if you are wondering which mattress is right for me, Bear's got you covered via their super simple online quiz that helps remove all the guesswork. I sleep on my back and prefer a medium firmness to my mattress, but my wife sleeps on her stomach and prefers a mattress that is more firm. That's why Bear matched us up with the Elite Hybrid mattress to benefit us both, and it's been perfecto. Then once you order, Bear delivers the mattress right to your door in a box with free shipping in the US, and it's super easy to set up yourself. Just unbox it, unroll it, and boom, your sleep quality is instantly upgraded. The best part is these mattresses come with a lifetime warranty, and they even offer financing options and flexible payment plans. On top of that, their sleep recovery technology uses a Celliant powered fabric to help you stay cool throughout the night, and all mattresses are Green Guard Gold certified, Sturdy Pure US certified, and EcoFlex fiberglass free. I certainly love my quality of sleep with Bear Mattress, and I think you will too. So if you're looking to upgrade your sleep, just go to bearmattress.com/HBTC and use code HBTC to get 40% off your mattress plus $400 of sleep accessories for a limited time. Again, this is higher than what's being offered on site, so check it out while you can. All right, now the second half then started out in disastrous fashion as Pacheco mishandled a pitch from Mahomes, losing 12 yards, and Mahomes proceeded to throw an INT 2 plays later on 3rd and 12. I believe he was trying to target Kelsey, but overthrew him, and Jair Brown, who was in coverage on MVS, broke off him to make the play. And after this, 3 straight 3-and-outs proceeded to follow. 49ers, then the Chiefs, 49ers. In that order, Willie Gay made sure Purdy couldn't scramble enough to move the chains. Then Chris Conley downed their punt at the 1-yard line, backing Mahomes and company way up. And even though Kelsey got 9 yards on 2nd down, Pacheco couldn't punch through for the first on 3rd and 1. Chris Jones then moved Purdy way back, forcing a dump off to Jennings for a loss, and ultimately a deficit that was too much, and the result was yet another punt. And after Chris Conley clotheslined Richie James like they were at WrestleMania, Mahomes got a clutch first down on 3rd and 4 by using his legs, pump faking to buy just enough time to get the first down, then even kept the ball on an option for a 22-yard scramble. And this was surprising because Mahomes never does this. So of course the 49ers were not expecting it. And while this was all she wrote for this drive, they did just enough to set Harrison Butker up to attempt a new Super Bowl record kick, 2 yards further back than Jake Moody's record kick from earlier in the same game. And Butker was able to get just enough on this 57-yarder to make this a 4-point game, the 9th consecutive made field goal for Butker from 50 or more yards. A 3-and-out from both teams then followed after Pennell shut CMC down. Then Mike Edwards and McDuffie both had some PBUs. Then Mahomes couldn't make magic happen here on 3rd and 2 as Bosa was a problem yet again for him. But speaking of problems, Townsend's punt bounced off a 49ers special teamer's ankle, which forced McLeod to try and scoop it up unsuccessfully, I might add, and Jalen Watson pounced on it, giving the Chiefs some new life that was immediately capitalized on one play later. Mahomes lofted a perfect ball to none other than Marquez Valdez. I forgive you for everything based on your performance in the playoffs, Scantling. That put KC up for the first time all game, 13-10. San Francisco did not like that, though, and Jennings helped move the chains on 3rd and 5. Purdy then connected with Debo and Ayuk, with CMC eventually getting stood up on 3rd and 2 for a loss of 1. They ended up going for it, though, connecting with Kittle for a gutsy 4th and 3 conversion, with Jennings getting in for the score after Snead couldn't bring him down. However, Jake Moody then kicked the extra point too low, and it was blocked by Leo Chanel, the first extra point missed by Moody all season long from what I understand, and this put the Niners up only by 3 rather than 4 with 11 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Mahomes then hit Kelsey for 16 yards near the left sideline, and shortly after, Mahomes converted a huge 3rd and 10 to a somehow wide open, it always happens like that, Travis Kelsey. Justin Watson was then open on the left side for 25 more yards, with the Pacheco run bringing them all the way to the 3 after back-to-back runs. And even though they got up to the 3, the Chiefs had to settle for 3, tying the game at 16 with 5 minutes and 45 seconds left to go. The Niners were then able to matriculate the ball down the field, eventually draining the clock all the way down to the 2-minute warning. And this had them facing a very, very key 3rd and 4. Basically, if this is a first down, San Francisco essentially could drain the clock and kick a game-winning field goal. But instead, Spags sent McDuffie on a well-crafted sneaky blitz, and Purdy was unable to complete his throw. That set up a 53-yard field goal, which Jake Moody did indeed nail. The problem is that only put the Niners up by 3 points with 2 minutes to go in the game, and the Chiefs still had 2 timeouts. And it was at that moment I knew San Francisco probably messed up big time, because if Mahomes and company can do it in 13 seconds, 2 minutes is basically an eternity. So the drive started with Mahomes connecting with Kelsey, Noah Gray, and Justin Watson before a dump-off pass to McKinnon converted a key 3rd and 2. Travis Kelsey then shook Fred Warner to take a shallow crosser up the left sideline 22 yards. This had the Chiefs at the 11 with 1 timeout and 10 seconds left in the game. Mahomes took one last shot, it was incomplete, to Kelsey into the end zone before Butker tied the game up at 19 apiece to force overtime, which is only the second time that overtime has ever happened in Super Bowl history. The 49ers, though, won the toss and opted to receive, which was interesting considering the new overtime rules, and each team now being able to respond regardless of the opening drive of the opponent being a field goal or a touchdown. Andy Reid said if they would have won the toss, they were going to opt to kick it first regardless. So this is actually exactly what they wanted. And with that, Brock Purdy dirted a ball on 3rd and 14 after KC's defense held strong according to plan, but not so fast because Trent McDuffie got flagged for holding, which was an automatic first down. This gave the Niners more life, allowing them to convert a 3rd and 2 to Ayuk for 11. CMC then high-stepped up the left sideline for 24 yards. Purdy had an incredible scramble to extend the play to the right and connected with Kyle Juszczyk for the first down. L'Jarius Sneed in coverage, which was honestly wild to see. Fullback versus L'Jarius Sneed, he won. Yeah, wild. San Francisco then got as close as the 8-yard line, looking to score or at least move the chains on 3rd down and 4. And honestly, they should have scored a touchdown here. I'm being serious. Jawan Jennings beat Jalen Watson here on the right side, which would have probably resulted in a walk-in touchdown. However, thank God Chris Jones exists, because he got immediate pressure on Purdy, which forced him to throw up an incomplete prayer, and therefore the 49ers had to kick a field goal. This meant the Chiefs could win in overtime if they marched down and score a touchdown. Well, things looked shaky at first when Pacheco was stopped on 3rd and 1. So on 4th and 1, Mahomes not only asked Coach Reid for a specific play, but said, if Kelsey is covered, I'm going to run it myself. And that is exactly what happened. The play action to Pacheco caused Bosa to bite, and Kelsey drew enough attention to allow Mahomes to pick up an easy 8 yards, a perfectly executed play. MVS then caught a pass that took him backwards, making him lose 4 yards, a big mistake by the veteran, but Mahomes went right back to him on the very next play to set up a 3rd and 6, and Rice took a shallow crosser to the 41 for the first down. Pacheco then caught back-to-back passes to set up another 3rd down, but no problem because Mahomes scrambled up the middle for 19 yards, a scramble that reminded me a lot of the end-of-game scramble Mahomes had in Super Bowl 57 against the Eagles. Travis Kelsey then proceeded to plow ahead for a quick pass to the 3-yard line to set up 1st and goal, and with both teams absolutely exhausted. All the Chiefs needed here was a 3-yard touchdown to win it all. And you know what they did? They pulled out a version of corn dog, basically. The play they scored 2 touchdowns on last year in Super Bowl 57, where the receiver goes in motion one way pre-snap, then reverses their motion once the ball is snapped to run a route the opposite way. Well, that is exactly what Mecole Hardman did, and it worked to perfection, leaving him wide open for the game-winning touchdown, with everybody, including myself, losing their minds. This is quite the redemption story for both Mecole Hardman and Marquez Valdez-Scantling, the only pass catchers to score touchdowns for the Chiefs in this game. MVS struggled pretty greatly in the regular season. Meanwhile, Mecole was sitting on the bench with the New York Jets before the Chiefs traded back for him prior to the trade deadline, and both of these guys showed up big when it mattered most. And with that, the Chiefs not only beat the Niners in the Super Bowl once again, but are the first team to win back-to-back Super Bowls since the Patriots did it in 2003 and 2004. The win was a crucial one for Kansas City because it stamped the word dynasty upon the Kansas City Chiefs organization, leaving no doubt in the minds of anyone that actually has a brain that they are the very definition of greatness, from the front office and their ability to draft, to the coaching staff and their ability to coach them up, all the way to the players themselves. You got the best tight end in the game, the best QB in the game, the best head coach in the game, best DC in the game, I would even say, the best kicker in the game, the best DT in the game, as well as the best and youngest defense in the NFL. Dynasty. And speaking of DT, defensive tackle for Chris Jones, I just want to shout out DT 58, man. Derek Thomas, the Chiefs won Super Bowl 58 for DT 58, and you freaking love to see it. And by the game's end, Mahomes had almost 400 total yards, not only throwing for 333 yards and 2 touchdowns, but also scrambled 9 times for 66 yards, leading the team in rushing. Travis Kelce had 9 snags for 93 yards, then a plethora of other players caught 2 or more. The offense was 9 for 19 on third downs, but sadly just 2 for 6 in the red zone. But obviously it didn't matter because thankfully Harrison Butker was perfect on the night, making all 4 of his field goals, including 2 from greater than 50 yards. Then Kansas City's defense held the Niners to just 3 for 12 on third downs, only letting them get into the red zone twice and stifling Kittle, Debo, and Ayuk to under 87 total receiving yards. And while McCaffrey did have 160 total yards from scrimmage, he was a beast out there, they were able to stop him enough when it mattered and held him to just 3.6 yards per carry when he averaged about 5.4 yards per carry through the regular season. Bolton led the team in tackles. Justin Reed had a great game. Willie Gay was making plays. Mike Pennell had several key stops. Chris Jones had several game-changing plays. McDuffie had 3 PBUs as well as 2 QB hits. Snead clamped down basically whoever, whenever, aside from that one Jennings score. And ultimately, this team did pretty much what they needed in order to walk away with the W. It was close. We were nervous and scared, but at the end of the day, a win is a win is a win. All the ups and downs of the season mattered not once they made it to the playoffs. And all season long, the coaches said, we are right there. Just need to execute a little better, catch a couple more passes, make a couple less mistakes in these games, etc., etc. And while they did have some mistakes in the Super Bowl, Spags coached out of his mind and the defense held strong when the offense sputtered. Then Mahomes and company dealt 2 lethal drives, a couple more good drives scoring touchdowns, but one was a short field by special teams, but 2 lethal drives when it mattered most near the end of the game, one to force overtime and one to win it all. Patrick Mahomes was, of course, Super Bowl MVP, which makes that his 3rd MVP in the big game so far. Another stat to throw upon the pile of his mountainous collection. He now has 15 postseason wins, trailing only behind Joe Montana and Tom Brady, and his 3rd ring has him trailing only Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw, and Tom Brady. And one of my favorite parts of this win is they did this in the Raiders' home stadium, which has to leave that fan base in absolute shambles, but I could care less. Only further adding to the sweetness of this victory, at least to me. And while I could go on and on and on and on about this glorious victory, I would love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. How do you feel after this thrilling yet very stressful Super Bowl win? Who were your standout players and also favorite key plays in this game as we saw the Chiefs get their 3rd Super Bowl in 5 years? Let me know in the comments down below. And before I get out of here, I'll just end by saying this. You can doubt the Chiefs, you can dislike the Chiefs, you can disrespect the Chiefs, but you're going to have to deal with the Chiefs. And until next time, let's go. Let's freaking go. How about those?